Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Will with GeekSpeakNation coming at you with something different, and basically, it's just the alternative to the 8-Bit Minute. The 8-Bit Minute, I love doing that show, but as you guys can see, I haven't done it in quite some time because it is a bit of a it takes a little while to put together, roughly an hour or two. But with something so time sensitive, since it's news, and ideally, there's no point in posting it if it's a month old, then you need to know that you can film, edit, and upload immediately. And if you know you don't have that time window, which I usually don't, being in school right now, then I stray away from doing that. So I figured I'd just bring you some Call of Duty commentaries. Not because I'm good at the game, because I'm absolutely not good at the game. Frankly, I don't quite enjoy the game. But it's a format that everyone knows already, and it's relatively easy to produce, and it gives me a platform to kind of state my piece. Because I like stating my opinion. I like having debates and talking about different things to with different people and getting their take on things. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is the supposed PlayStation 4.5. And if you guys haven't heard about this, all the major news sources, Kotaku, Game Informer, all of them, they're basically reporting that PlayStation is considering making a new piece of hardware, the PlayStation 4.5. This is on the tail end of Microsoft basically confirming that they too are looking into hardware upgrades, physical hardware upgrades. And this is something very different. This is something that we haven't quite seen in the console market before. I mean, of course, every console has different iterations. PS3, you had the original fat PS3, then you had the slim PS3, and then you had the slim PS3, I guess. Same with Xbox 360, you had the white, and then you went to the black, and then you got kind of that sleek looking one, I don't know what it was called, but it was supposed to mirror the Xbox One's design. So you have different physical alterations, but you don't necessarily have different hardware. And let me explain why they would even be considering doing this. So as of now, PC gaming is huge. I don't know the numbers, but I would not be surprised if PC gaming financially is bigger than console gaming. And there's a lot of appeals to it. It's digital games, so ideally it's cheaper. You have a lot of sales with the different distributors, with Steam and Good Old Games and other websites like that. You have a lot of sales to get the games cheap, and you can upgrade it. So you can upgrade it to always optimize it and have it, if you like, have it to the top tier. Have it as optimal and as upgraded as you'd like. Now, to counter that, I want to talk about the appeal of consoles, because I know the whole PC master race and everything. I have personally not dipped into PC gaming. The most I've done is RuneScape in elementary school, Combat Arms in middle school, and Minecraft. I get addicted to Minecraft every 6 or 7 months or so, and I play religiously for about 3 or 4 weeks. The appeal of console gaming, and some people in the PC master race, they don't try to see the appeal to it, which is kind of, it damages. The idea is that all gamers should kind of be on each other's side, not this whole, I've never really been into the whole, I'm Team Sony, or I'm Team Xbox, or whatever. I think that's bull. I think if you're a gamer, you're a gamer to a gamer to a gamer to a gamer, all the way down. Doesn't matter what platform you're playing on. As long as you guys can enjoy it, have a good time, talk about it, then you're a gamer. The appeal of a console game, or a console, excuse me, is that from the day you purchase it, there's rice left over from my lunch. Excuse me. From the day you purchase it on launch day to the very last day that games are ever produced for the console, you know that game is going to be able to run on that console. Alright, so let me explain. Sometimes with PC games, release a game. I mean, for example, if you picked up a game from the 90s, I know you could say, well, you can't pick up a game from the 90s and put it in your PS4. To me, it's a little bit different. If you pick up a game from the 90s, in order to play on your PC, you have to run new programs, make sure your specs are in line and everything. And even if you get to look at brand new games, you look at Star Citizen, the massive, massive online game set in space, graphically beautiful, absolutely beautiful. If you don't have a certain amount of specs, or a certain level of specs, you cannot play the game. Same goes for just about every PC game. If you don't have a certain amount of RAM, if you don't have a certain graphics card, processor, motherboard, blah blah blah, probably not motherboard. If you're a PC gamer, clarify for me. You can't run the game. With the console, you can. If you buy a PS4 and you buy a game 10 years after you buy that PS4, that comes in a PS4 case, you can run that PS4 game on the PS4. That's the appeal. Now, of course, there are faults to that. The same way PC gaming has an appeal where you can upgrade it, having a set box of hardware can eventually hold back developers. When you look at games that come out at the end of a console's life cycle, i.e. The Last of Us, and I'm naming Sony titles, I'm not a Sony fanboy, it's just what's coming to mind, and it's the best examples. Look at The Last of Us and you look at Grand Theft Auto 5. Those came out on the same console as Uncharted 1, which looked okay. You also have Homefront. Homefront is a game that I always go back to I enjoyed it. I thought it was incredibly fun. It looked like garbage. It looked like a PS2 game. And if you see me shaking around like that, it's because I'm just kind of frustrated or in disbelief of a kill. I think I kill myself later, and that's just frustration. So I wanted to clarify that. I'm not having a seizure or anything. I'm good. I'm good. But Uncharted 1 came out on the same console as Grand Theft Auto 5, the massively open world game. Absolutely incredible from a technical standpoint when you compare what games came out on the same console. It's awesome that developers were able to, at the end of the console life cycle, optimize that console and squeeze every last bit of juice out of it. But imagine if we were able to take the PS3 halfway through the life cycle, stick a little add-on to it, and we have more processing power, therefore giving developers more processing power. PS4, I think a couple months ago, they opened up more, more RAM? A certain spec of the console. They opened it up here. I give it suicide. There it goes. They opened up to developers. They had been keeping that locked off from developers to make sure the console itself could be optimized. Once they realized it was optimized with a certain amount of, I think it was RAM, then they took half of the RAM that had been locked off and said, developers, you can now use that, which opens up more options for developers when making their games. So, should there be a PS4.5? Yes, if blank. Yes, there should be a PS4.5. Yes, there should be Xbox One console add-ons. If early adopters are early to get or are able to get the new edition for a very, very reduced price, right? I bought my PS4 $400. I will not buy the PS4.5 if it is another $400. I should be able to. This is a beautiful play right here. If you want to pay attention to this, I should be able to maybe mail this to Sony, take it into GameStop, take my PS4 in, and for maybe $100, get the PS4.5. Be able to transfer over all my data, everything over to the new system for a reduced price. I think it would be financial suicide to release an updated hardware console for the same price as the original console. If developers are eventually going to make games that only run on that, you look at the new 3DS. Terrible naming. You have the 3DS, and then you have the new 3DS. Some games you can only run on the new 3DS. I would assume that would be the same with the PS4.5. If developers start doing that, they start locking these games into the new system, preventing an entire audience from playing that game, that's not smart. That's not smart business. Unless those are small budget titles. That's not smart business, right? If you're going to want everyone to follow over and to adopt PS4.5, which I would gladly do for the correct price, you have to give them a little skin in the game. You have to give them a reason to see this as a smart financial option. Not everyone has $400 to blow. I'd say very few people have $400 to blow. Let me take my PS4, ship it to you, Sony, and get it for a reduced price. Absolutely, there should be hardware updates. It's the only way to keep up with PC gaming in this day and age. You need to allow your developers to keep maximizing the system, pumping out everything they can, and if you've got to update it, do it right. This has been Will with GeekSpeakNation. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know what you think about this format. Let me know if there's any other topics you want me to talk about. Thank you for watching. Go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to get geeky.